What's up, friends and family? Welcome to the Fan of Life podcast, Fan of Life show. Ooh, I'm not sure why I just dropped my voice. Fan of Life podcast. Anyway, didn't know if you guys noticed that, but I called myself out anyway. Today's episode, guys, is a wild one. It's a fun one. Hope you guys enjoy the ride. Come along. I have to warn you, it is adult content. I am speaking with the founder and creator of the fadedtruth.com website and the Faded Truth podcast. Angie Martinez is a huge advocate for cannabis. And we talk about that. We talk about her entrepreneurial spirit. She has the sincerity, honesty, and really go-getter mentality of an East Coast girl now living on the West Coast. She actually reminds me of the missus quite a bit. So I think that's why her and I vibe so well. This is a fun one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I look forward to chatting with her again down the road. But for now, I wanted to invite you guys along for the conversation. And without further ado, I think that's how you say it. Without any more delays, Miss Angie Martinez, fadedtruth.com. Let's get it. What is up, Miss Angie? How are you today?
I'm great. How are you, Rick?
I'm doing great. Hey, let's just get down to it. I know you have a lot of projects. You have a lot of stuff. You're the founder of fadedtruth.com and podcast. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But before we get into it, I would say make yourself at home, but you are at home. So besides making yourself at home, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? I know you're from the East Coast originally, correct?
Yes, sir. Jersey.
So we were laughing about this because my wife also is from the East Coast, and you guys have a lot of the same kind of dialect or vernacular. So do the audience a favor, not to put you on the spot, but what do you like to drink? What is H2O? How do you say
this
water?
Is water. Okay. It's not water. It's water.
I love it. I grew up on the West Coast, and when I met my wife, she's like, water. I was like, what are you saying?
I know people have to, because I bartended forever. So when they would ask me, like, I would ask them, do you want water? And they're like, what are you saying? And I'm like, never mind. Fuck it. Never mind. Don't get shit.
I love it. So when did you come out to the West Coast? When did you come out to Vegas?
I moved to Vegas in December of 17. So it's been 4 years now. It took me probably 2 years to adjust here. And that was even before I started the show.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I started the show, it was just easier because I started meeting like creative people that like I wouldn't meet on the East Coast. Cause like, we don't have like actors and like rappers and like people that are like doing cool shit really. It's just like everyone's in your hometown and everyone just does the same repeated cycle, So it was cool meeting different people. And that's really what opened my mind. So I love it here now. It's just, it'll never be home. But I'm never going to move home to compromise my mental peace. Cause like the palm trees, the sun, I need that shit every day. So even if I move from Vegas, I'll be going to Florida. Right.
You got to be somewhere where there's sun and there's I would say water, but Lake Mead's trying out real quick. So enjoy what you can.
Swim in that shit. But have you ever been to Willow Beach?
No, I haven't.
It's like right past Lake Mead, but it's on the Colorado River.
Okay.
And it's so fucking pretty. And the water's always 55 degrees, but it's clear. And they have like Nelson's Landing where you can pull up, you bring like you barbecue, and then they have like cliff jumping and shit. And that cliff jump, we did it was like a 40-foot cliff jump. That shit fucking hurt.
Nice. My
Hawaiian friends convinced me to do it because they're crazy as fuck.
Hey, peer pressure is awesome sometimes. Do people camp out there too or no?
I guess you could. I don't think there's like rangers or anything, but I mean, I don't know.
The last time we took our boat out, we rented a boat for my friend's birthday last year. The boat sank.
What?
Literally, the boat sank. We were joking around.
In it?
I swear to God, we rented it at Lake Mead, and then I guess they didn't plug it properly, what have you. The engine died, it sank, or it started flooding. We were like, oh shit. So we were waving people down. So a group of people came and kind of towed us in. And then the guy was like, oh, you're good. We'll tow you in. You got like hours before this thing even floods. And within probably 15 minutes, we're submerged underwater.
Wow.
I got pictures too. So if it
That's
is
scary.
Yeah, looking back, it's scary, but luckily, we made it on shore, and believe it or not, we saved our food and saved our phone, the two most important things when you go to the lake.
Hell yeah.
So we're good.
I lost my Dolces out that bitch, and fucking someone had to buy me new Dolces because they whipped the boat, and my whole like body went. I got fucked up. Like I'm lucky I didn't fall all over, but my glasses were lost, and I was like, oh no.
That's
we got replaced.
I'm too irresponsible for anything like that. So
yeah, now I just bring the cheap glasses with me.
That's right.
I learned my lesson.
So talk to me a little bit about, what you do. I know you founded Faded Truth. I love the name. I love the concept behind it. And it's built on 5 components or 5 pillars, right? As far as your show and your website and kind of like a brand and lifestyle around it. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So when I started doing my YouTube, I was pretty much just doing content to do it. And then I just kind of started to, like keep trying to break the algorithm. So I was doing all different things, and that allowed me to like get into different spaces. And so I kind of realized like what things I like to talk about and what I like to do. And so once I started my website, I was like, it's my shit. I don't have to narrow it down, because YouTube, they say you need a niche and all these things in order for it to be better and whatever. And I just had so much I wanted to talk about. I was like, I don't want to narrow myself down. So when I monetized myself, I was like, well, now I can just talk about everything, and like, I can narrow it down to 5
Right,
instead of
the
like
5 that
1
you're interested in. Yeah, yeah.
or 3. Cause I was like, I know I'm going to constantly have content in these spaces, so I was like, it's not going to be a problem to fill them. You know what I mean? If I want to go eat, I'm going to do food porn. If I want to go fucking smoke, I'm going to do cannabis. But I always have something that I can do, and it's awesome.
So let's go back to that. So the 5 components, is there one of those that you lean in more, or do you really enjoy above the rest, or are they just equal in different ways?
I mean, I always love talking about cannabis because I love cannabis, but I don't know. I always love the men and women talk, like the taboo.
Okay.
Or like the sex talk or whatever. So that's why I had to keep it in there, because that's how I started originally, like was talking shit with my girls, and then it just turned into me interviewing people, and it just like spiraled from there. But I always wanted to keep like the light and dark. So it's like we can talk about being healthy and taking care of ourselves, but then we can also go out and enjoy some fucking food and not be like, oh my God,
right.
you know what I mean? I ate this, like I ate that. It's like, I like to combine the light and dark, because I used to never give a fuck about my body. I didn't give a fuck about, like, I was always working out, but I didn't like know about like health and wellness or ways to heal yourself, or like how plants help you or shit like that, So now that I like learned a lot of different things, I just feel like, why can't you do everything?
How'd you get down that road?
What?
Just like understanding a little bit more of the plant-based therapeutics, the medicines.
Kind of just like interviewing people, because once I started the brand to like break the stigma of cannabis, but I didn't know anything about cannabis yet. I just knew I liked to smoke it, and I just knew that I was a pothead, and I was in Vegas, where it's like a cannabis community. Right. So once I started having people on that like educated me on the plant and what it can do, that kind of spiraled into other things of as far as wellness and like spirituality and mental health and things like that I got into. So it was just like a whole like doors opened when I started doing the show. Like you can see the transition, from almost 2 years now to now, of just like how I am as a person. Like if you actually know me.
So you see yourself just that evolution that short of a time, just by talking to people and getting to know people. That's good. Because you were saying before your show, when you moved here, you kind of felt like it was surface level, everything's kind of fake and what have you, right? That was your biggest issue.
And it's still like that, but you just have to find like people that you connect with, and pretty much everyone that I've had on my show, like I connect with. That's why you're on my show. Like if I don't connect with you, I'm not bringing you on. I don't care who you are.
Ever had anyone come on that you go, maybe I'll change my mind, this won't go out to publish?
No, I've had things that didn't go to publish, but it wasn't because of me. It was because they got too high and they told the truth.
Oh, and they probably have a corporate job or something like VP
somewhere
somewhere
at
like,
a bank. I can't believe I said that. I'm like, well, that was camera.
Yeah, that's funny. I always wonder that too. That's why, like for me, my show is entrepreneurial centric, and I like that because I like people having the freedom to be their own boss, so they don't have to really answer to anybody corporate wise. You know what I mean? I like to get down to the truth of who you are and stuff like that. I just love people in general. I don't like crowds though, sis. Like my club days and shit like that's gone. But I do like enjoying, good food and hanging out with people and stuff. So for you, your project and your business, is that like a daily grind?
So I work part-time still. I'm a director of sales.
Okay.
So yeah, it's great because I work part-time, make full-time money. My manifestation for myself this past few years was I always worked 2-3 jobs my whole life. And so I wanted to make the same money working 3 jobs, working 1. And I made it happen. And, so it's amazing because I can work half the week, make great money, and the other half, and at night I have time to work on my business. Because before I would take those other days, those other hours, and go bartend somewhere and make extra money. You know what I mean? I would always be chasing money.
Right.
So now that I found a stable place, and we're not corporate, like it's an amazing place. We have an all girl team, and like we just fucking fuck shit up, and it's great. And so it's like, for me to still have a job, it's like amazing to have. Like it's the best one I could possibly have, to still have one and not be a full-time entrepreneur. But the goal this year is to become a full-time entrepreneur. So that's what I'm working on, as far as finding other streams of income, so that I can make up for a lot of the money that I would be losing if I, decide to move on. But I really do, like, my whole mental is just like, okay, those 25 hours a week, I could be writing my articles for my SEO. I could be learning crypto. I could be doing these things. You know what I mean? So my mind has 10 different things. And so my day looks like I wake up at fucking with the sun, and I work out, walk the dogs, go to work, come home, edit, do an interview, whatever, cook dinner, do errands, like whatever it is. It's just kind of like going. That's why I only smoke uppers.
I do. So I recently started following you, and what I like about your morning routine, and we'll promote how to get a hold of you and stuff like that, is your morning, I guess, mantras or affirmations that you post. So you don't have to give the secret sauce away, but do you have that kind of in your wheelhouse and in your bag of tricks, or it's kind of one of those things where this is what I'm feeling today and I want to share to the world kind of deal? Your daily motivation or your mantras.
Yeah. So I started doing that a few years ago now. It's been at least a couple years now that I think about it. But I don't even know what made me start doing it, but it's just things that I'm feeling that day. And like the other day I posted something, and I keep a lot of things in my arsenal. Like I'll post pictures like a year later, like I don't care, like just because you need content all the time, sure. But like one day I'll just or I'll screenshot a bunch of like quotes, and then I'll just use them as I feel like I want to use them. Because like, I have different apps. I have like a motivation app, then I have a mantra app, and then I have the pattern, and then I have like, just a bunch of positive things that I can see every day that remind me of what the fuck I'm doing. And those are daily habits that I never used to do before. My boy hit me the other day because I did that one of like, the expectations of others were the bars I used for my own cage.
I do remember that. There was a picture of it too.
Yeah. And my friend hit me like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. What's up? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, it's just like, it makes people think, like, because that is so true. Once you realize like why you're disappointed in people, or like maybe like why you're having a bad day, it's because you put too much expectation on other shit outside of your control. Like just control what you can, and you'll literally be so happy, because you're not going to be thinking, like, you're not going to expect anything,
Yeah. Do you think that that's a challenge for most people? They don't take a pause and be introspective and kind of self-examine themselves, that they're too worried about the external, they're too worried about their friends, their image, all this stuff. They don't take time to go, what's Angie about? What's Rick about? What am I about? And
yeah, most people don't know. I mean, if you ask them, like, what do you like to do? They're like, they tell you their career, and it's like, no, what do you like to do? But it's like, not a lot of people really go out of their way to like live life. And that's actually why I like the West Coast, because I feel like people live life more out here. Like they're way more open. They're just like, like, yeah, they're slow, but it's like, and they're just happy, like, and it's just, the quality of life is nice. So everyone else is nice. So who doesn't want to be around a bunch of people that are all fucking happy,
It's the sun too, man. The vitamin D is for real. It's the sun.
That's what I'm saying.
I hear you. So now you're an entrepreneur, but before that, because there is a distinction between someone that's a hustler and someone that's an entrepreneur. Do you sense that about yourself now that you've made that mental shift? Because like you said, you were working 2-3 jobs, doing whatever you can to make side money. Now you're building a brand, building a business. Do you feel like there's a mental shift that you have to go through in order to do that?
I mean, if you're a businessman, you're a hustler. It's the same shit. You're just hustling in a different way. And you just have to, put that hustle into your business. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if I can work, and if I can be up for 10 hours and not sleep and do all this stuff, like I can literally be doing that for my business. But I get 8 hours of sleep now. Like I love my life. Like it's amazing. Like sleep and me are fucking great now, because I never had it. So now that I've come to a point where I can like have a schedule and like things like that, it's just amazing. But no, I don't think it's like I think you're still hustling every day, because it's more of a hustle than working a normal job. A normal job, I'm going to work these hours, and then, depending on your job, what you're going to make working those hours. Right. And if you're not commissioned, you don't have an opportunity to just keep going. Right. So with your own business, like, you constantly have to do shit. And I don't have a team. Like, I have people that help me sometimes, but like, I don't actually have a team that does anything. So I do everything on my own, so you have to take into account like everything from A to Z on one person. That's a lot of hustle.
Yeah. So you're definitely on a different motor, on a different gear. So let me ask you this: do you think that drive that you have, and most entrepreneurs that are successful have, can that be learned, or you're either born with it or you're not? What's your belief in that?
I think you're probably just born into it. You're like, you just born with drive, or you learn it from a young age because you see things and you're like, I got to get the fuck out of here. So I need to do something different and push myself to get out, but like, you can't teach somebody how to hustle. That's why there's so many lazy people out here. Like, it's crazy. The work ethic from the East Coast to the West, like, as far as hiring people, is a nightmare, because nobody wants to work out here.
Yeah. Again, it's the sun. Right.
But like, back in Jersey, we were degenerate, but we still went to work.
Right.
Here, they're like, oh, I'm hungover, I'm not coming in. Like, no.
Right. No, I see that. Because like I said, I grew up in the West Coast. And so I met my wife. I didn't really spend that much time on the East Coast. It's a different culture in itself, man.
Did you go to Pittsburgh?
My wife's in Pittsburgh, PA. Have
you been there?
Oh yeah, multiple times. Yeah, we do we do a lot of business there. So I'm there like 3-4 times a year. Nice. But yeah, it's different. It's different.
So you gotta tell me the pizza. Have you had pizza out there, or
I sure have.
Steak, or
I sure have. So
actually, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I've never been to Pittsburgh. I don't know how their shit tastes, but Jersey is phenomenal.
Their food is more home cooked and or sandwiches. So I'm deep into the pastrami. I'm deep into the
roast beef au jus.
Yeah, the Italian beef and all that stuff. Yeah. And I will say certain parts of Pittsburgh now is getting that West Coast influence. They're starting to get some hipster stuff in there too. So they're trying, but I like the gritty stuff, man. I can get the hipster stuff on the West Coast. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah, for me, you go to Jersey and get yourself a pork roll and cheese and a cheesesteak.
Well, and then my in-laws are part Italian, so it's always home cooked meals for me too. So it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I enjoy being there. Not right now though, because it snows like a motherfucker. So I'm not used to that.
I'm saying, every time I get homesick, I just go out on my patio and sit in my hammock in the sun.
Yeah.
And watch the hummingbirds.
It's true. I get pictures from my in-laws, and it's like snow in what, April, first week of April, and here it's like beach club already. You know what I mean? So it's a totally different world. But parts of it I do like. I do appreciate the grind of it. They put their nose down and they work. There's a different culture. You're right. So probably that's a good combination and blend for you. Now you got your West Coast vibe, and then you got your East Coast work ethic. So I think that is a perfect marriage in what you're trying to do as an entrepreneur. So on your show and your brand as a whole, it's through a paywall, right? So you monetize it through memberships, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they can find all that information where? Just on your website?
So fadeedtruth.com. So you go online, you put your email in to subscribe, you'll get the weekly newsletter from everyone that comes out. And then whatever like the new latest things are. Right now that I have calendars out for sale, 2022 calendars. So go shop those. And then you just go to your membership, put your card in, give me your money, and you'll get access to all the season 2 episodes.
Dope. So for you, what's ultimately the big vision for it? Like how big do you want it? Do you want other avenues under this umbrella as well too? Or where do you think it's going to go, or your hope it's going to go?
Honestly, Rick, I don't know. I can't believe I got this far. So I just enjoy the journey. I take it day by day. The more I've worked on myself, the more I've let go, the more opportunities present themselves to me every day. And I'm just trying to not get overwhelmed, because it happens every few months. I'll like get overwhelmed because a lot happens at once, and like it's just me. So it's exciting, but it's also like it's kind of scary. But then then you're in the right fucking place, because it's supposed to be scary. Like it's growth, like this is what you're doing. So don't fucking manifest shit and then be surprised when it happens. Like you better be ready.
Right. What are the lessons that you learned that you go, shit, I wish I knew that a couple of years ago? What are some of the fallacies that maybe held you back? Some of the fears, or maybe in your head that held you back?
I think the fallacy that like people do things to you, like in a way you allow that to happen. And you just can't like, again, put expectation on others. You can't hold others on a pedestal. Okay. Like you need to like just take people as they are.
What's that saying? If someone shows you who they are, believe them.
That's what I say. Yeah.
So you're talking about obviously in all aspects, relationship, business wise, everything else.
Yeah.
Do you find it's harder with friendships, because then you kind of have to gauge what box you put them in, like how close you allow certain people in?
Yeah, because it's weird. Like I never liked to help people like until now, because I was just like always like just a selfish person, because I had to help myself. Like I didn't give a fuck about anybody else, because I'm trying to survive. So whatever, I don't really care what's going on with you. And so now that I could take like that step back, and I realized I did help people a lot in my life. I just didn't feel like I did, because I was never an emotional person. So like I always just felt very cold, and like I just never thought like I gave a fuck. But I look back and I just always helped a lot of toxic ass people, and I was toxic as fuck too. But I've had a lot of like fucking Rolodex of like friends, so now I've gotten to like the point of like a solid good group of friends here, and in Jersey I have a lot, but here it's like I've got a little small group that I just love. And I'm blessed to like have that now.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. One of my mentors told me a long time ago, when you start to make yourself better, you realize how shitty most of your friends are. But then the good news is you start to make new friends that are actually better quality. So,
well, you have to like surround yourself with people that are doing better than you. One. And like that really want to like talk about something. Like I don't want to fucking sit there and talk about bullshit. Like I'm trying to make moves.
Yeah. So how do you prevent yourself? Because I see the downfall of people in this is they live through ego. What are your thoughts on that in terms of ego?
I don't know. I guess maybe I have an ego, but I don't know. No one ever said like you have an ego. They just tell me I'm a bitch. Like
that encapsulates everything.
I don't have like, to be honest, I never really watched podcasts before I started. I've never watched podcasts or listened to podcasts before I decided I wanted to start one.
Funny.
So I just like bought all the equipment, like fucking started it. And I was like, I just want to talk shit. Let's do it. And then shout out to Rude Jude, because I just had him on. His interviews happening now on my website. But he was my inspo. He's a Shade 45 All Out show.
And that's on Sirius, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a Howard Stern kind of.
Oh, gotcha. And that's like the Eminem channel, right? The Shade 45. Yeah. I'm a little bit out of my hip hop realm, but back in the day, before my shoulder and my back, I was a b-boy back in the day. So
really,
I was in the scene for a little bit.
Nice. Do you have to wear one of those helmets?
Back in the day, I have to do head spins.
Yeah.
I don't wear helmets now because now I look dumb. But that's a different life ago. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But I never compared myself to any other show. I just like decided I wanted to start something, and it really just like blossomed on its own.
Yeah.
And like I said, I just like started, me and my friends talk shit. Then I started interviewing my friends that were like artists. And then I got like this guy from New York that asked me to interview like 20 of his cast for like a movie at once. And then I just was like, I was just pushing out content so fast. And then that's why I was like, I'm doing so much work and it's so much on the back end that like I can't just sit here and give YouTube my content for free. Like I'm not doing it.
Right. But at that point, you built yourself a steady following already, right? Before you went behind a paywall or your own paywall.
Yeah. And I've been like growing organically on IG and all that stuff. So my thought process is, if I charge you $5 a month to watch content, I'm already making more money than I made on YouTube. Because even after you get monetized, right. You're not like making fucking crazy money. Like you need crazy views,
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm chasing this shit for what? Fuck that. Like this is what I want to do. So I have to make it a business or I got to stop because I don't want a hobby.
Good for you. So for you, Angie, the focus right now is getting from quote unquote part-time entrepreneur to full-time into your own business. Eventually, what are you thinking? You're going to grow, get some team members, get staff, and do all that stuff as well too, get content, basically supporters. Because right now you're doing on your own. At some point, you're going to burn out a little bit, right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm coming up on 2 years in May, so I'm like, I'm probably gonna have to like start thinking about something, but it's like also kind of the creative aspect, like the editing and stuff, I'd rather just do it on my own. But a lot of the other stuff I definitely would need help with.
Gotcha. So
Um,
if someone wants to start out and they want to kind of branch out, make their own brand, or even just look for an outlet so they can have a voice, any advice for someone that wants to start out in this world of podcasting or, social media?
yeah. Be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up. The reason people give up is because it's so hard.
Yeah.
So like I said, you can't teach hustle. You can't teach a mindset of a drive. Like, hey, I'm going to do this. I don't give a fuck if someone tells me I'm going to fail, or if so-and-so doesn't watch, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, this is what I want to do. It's different when you have like that mindset. So you have to come in with that because it's a grind. It's not like, it's not always like a fucking happy thing. You're going to be looking at your shit like, oh my God, no one watched this.
Right.
Like my whole first like 10 videos didn't even have audio because I didn't even have my mixer connected because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Right. So you learn on your own. What JC say? He said, everybody wants to emulate the result, but never emulate the process. The process is a grind. You're right. So you better be sure this is what you want to do. You know what I mean? Not just for the hype. So I know part of what you do is you really enjoy food. Tell some people that are watching that aren't from Vegas, what's some of the spots that you recommend that people need to hit up for food?
Nice. I'm actually going to write a blog on this.
Oh, okay.
So I love Italian because I love Jersey Italian, and I had to find something similar out here because that's what I like. If I go out, I want to eat bread. If I'm home, I eat healthy.
Okay.
So Capos.
Okay.
Capos is good. I like the live music. I also like Bootlegger for live music. I need to go for the harp player. Okay. Because I went for like the scatters, but I see they have like a harp player on certain nights. I'm like, yes.
I've never seen the harp player. It's always that older guy with the piano. I've never seen the harp player.
Yeah. Check the schedule.
All right. I second bootleggers. Okay.
Lago.
Okay.
Hugo's Cellar.
I'm going there tonight.
Are you?
Yeah, I got a business function. I'm going there tonight.
What the fuck? What are the odds?
I know, right? Well, I think the odds are good because you know your food. So, ladies and gentlemen, she does know her food. She's naming the spot that I would put on my list as well too. Bootleggers is number one for me for Italian. So
I didn't really have their like full on entrees, but they seem like a nice mom and pop place for like whatever. Their sangria was good.
Well, they have. I'm not sure. They should, because COVID is whatever at this point. But they used to have reverse happy hour for industry people. So people would come in like at 1 a.m. to like 4 a.m. and they were entrees and stuff like half off. But yeah, that place is my number one spot. I've been going there probably 6-7 years, and I have the same dish over and over.
Wow.
Yeah. And their menu is pretty big. I just can't ever venture out because it's so.
What's your go-to dish?
That I'm not gonna disrespect my wife's family by trying to pronounce Italian, but it's their spicy seafood pasta dish. It's the Diablo.
Raw Diablo.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Extra spicy. And
I hate spice.
Oh, come on. But yeah, that's my favorite. So food's my language. What about travel? Are you a big travel adventurous person?
I want to be. I want to travel the world. Shit.
Yeah.
Dogs are like kids, first of all.
True.
And they don't do kennels, so I have to like have somebody trust them in my house when I leave and all that, and that's hard because it's just everyone's weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've only traveled like a couple times in my life, but I've been out of the country like a few times, and I definitely need to go to Barbados. That's like next on my list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any particular reason?
It just is pretty, and they have the boatyard down there. My boss was like, "Yo, that shit's, it's amazing." So I was like, "All right, I want to go there. It's cheap as fuck. Like,
yeah,
I love the beach. Like, I don't do like the cold. I don't want to go in the snow. Like, I don't want to do none of that shit. So I need to go on the beach and lay out. But I'm doing all my tattoos again, so I can't even be in the sun until like later. But later in the year, I'm going somewhere.
Good for you. Good for you. I'm assuming at some point you got to hit up Italy too, right?
The beaches of Italy.
Yeah, there you go. So through your podcast, and I appreciate people that venture out, because I talk to a lot of people and they ask me all the time. They go like, how do you do one? How do you do a podcast? And my answer is fuck, just do it. Just do it and figure it out.
Talk.
Yeah. And you're the perfect example of that. And I think when you get people for 45 minutes, an hour, a couple hours, you get to know people besides the surface level. And that's when shit gets really interesting. So for you, what do you think separates maybe your podcast from maybe another podcast, besides the fact that it's you? But you know, what is your intent with your podcast? What makes it kind of different and unique, do you think?
I think because like the guests just feel super comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and so I think that's important. Like you want your guests to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I've been places where like I just didn't feel comfortable, and I'm like, oh, you're a bad host,
Yeah.
you know. But and you know, we smoke. Almost everyone that comes on the show smokes usually, except like if they're athletes and they can't when they don't drink, you know. But other than that, most people smoke. So they're already chill, you know. That's why it's faded truth, because like we're getting faded and we're telling the truth.
Right.
And some people just tell too much truth. But I think it's like consistent between like you're always gonna learn something on the show. Because right now I've gotten to the point where I really want to like educate people. And that's why I started the show, was to break stigma, you know. So now we're breaking stigma on everything, you know, whether it's sex, weed, rappers, whatever, you know, like that's what the whole show is about. So
I said, what do you think people's biggest fear, one of people's biggest fear, is just the judgment of society? Is that why it's hard for people to be honest?
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I've been around a lot of real ass people my whole fucking life, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Like in Jersey, we're all very honest. Like if you don't like somebody, you know it.
Right.
People just don't like fake shit, and it's just very direct, and we get shit done. And so out here, I realized people like to be around the bush, and I'm like, why do you like to waste time? We could just have like, we could have already like you going all the way around the map. Like we could have just did straight line. So
yeah. You know what? I love that, because you know what's ironic is that when you beat around the bush, you think you're being nice and you think you're being respectful, what have you. I mean, obviously you don't need to be a jerk, but being direct and you saving people's time is probably the most respectful thing you can do. Like if you're not vibing with somebody, this partnership's not going to work, this relationship's not going to work, this friendship's not going to work. That honesty, man, saves you guys a shitload of time. And what's more respectful than saving people their fucking time, right?
Right, because what's more disrespectful than wasting people's time?
Exactly. That's a Hallmark card right there, by the way.
I just went and got gifts for my girl for her birthday, and fucking CVS had nothing, and they had this like little bear. It said happy birthday. I'm like, all right. And then it had those candies, like I don't know if you ever had the little strawberry old school candies that like grandmas used to have.
Okay.
They look like strawberries, and they're like little hard candies. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't, but I'm listening.
So they were in her bear, and I was like, this bitch, I'm giving this bitch 80-year-old candies, but she loved them. She was so excited.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kat.
Hey, here's a random question. So you're building a business, building a brand. Obviously, you know, you're trying to push for some financial success and even more financial success. You interview various people, different level of degrees of financial success. Does money bring happiness?
It brings freedom.
What do you think brings true happiness?
I mean, I guess whatever you want for your life, but like for me, I found that like I'm a lot happier now because I've accepted things, I've let go of things, I'm learning love, I'm learning like friendship, you know, like I'm just enjoying life and meeting new people and opening my mind to things, and that makes me really happy. Beautiful. You know, I wasn't happy when I just thought like one track minded and I was just pissed off all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
and did you come from a background where you basically had to just be on survival mode? Is that why you had to kind of be a little bit quote unquote cold?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, that's just from your childhood in general.
Okay. Yeah, just forever.
Gotcha. So I mean that's a good thing too, though. It means that people can change too, right?
Yeah, because you would have never thought. Like a lot of my friends are like, "Damn, bitch, like you."
You saw.
They're like, yeah, they're like, my one boy's like, why don't you just like yell at me? And I'm like, I don't need to yell at you. And he's like, what the fuck happened to you?
Right. Are you at a point where you are able to walk away from confrontation much easier now, or do you still have to kind of put people in check?
I did walk away. I did walk away one time. Yeah, this recently, and yeah, I just went back and then cleared the karma.
I was gonna say, did it feel good, or did you lose sleep over a little bit?
I mean, I guess it was an accomplishment. I mean, shit, I've definitely been able to be a lot more patient. I've learned to observe people more now than like react.
Okay.
And respond, you know? And so when you start observing people, you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. I practice forced empathy, which is for me is I take a step back and go, what's going on in their life that's making them be this horrible, you know, to other people, to me. But because it's true. One of my favorite mantras is I don't know who said it, so I'm gonna take credit for it, but I know I didn't say it, is I've never met someone that is truly happy that is an asshole. It's hard to be, you know, be fulfilled, be happy, have joy in life, and be an asshole. That's my true belief. And I think that asshole is the byproduct of their own misery. You know what I mean? So I
mean, that's true, but still, it's like, that ain't my job to fix you, motherfucker.
No, true.
Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick.
True.
So that's why I said it only, like, I'm great. Like, I calm down a lot, but like my shit will pop out at any moment if it needs to. It's just gonna, it's a little bit less now, you know. It's a lot, I'm a lot more relaxed, but you're not gonna ever disrespect me. So
oh yeah, of course. And you're never gonna take the jersey out of the girl, right? Come on. Yeah. No, I get it. I will say this though, when you start as this thing blows up and you start to acquire assets and your wealth builds, you be like, I'm gonna walk away. It's not worth it. But I'm glad to hear that. I think transformation and changing is the key thing in living fulfilling life, man. You can't be, you ever run into people, I think you said this a little earlier, but you run into people and they go, shit, Angie, you're not the same person. You're not talking the same language. You're not talking the same topic. And a lot of times, if you're not prepared for that, you might think it's a downplay or a bad connotation, but really it's a compliment without knowing it. You know, it means you've outgrown them.
No, my friends tell me I've grown. I don't, my friends are great. They love me.
Good. Well, then they're true friends then. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I got a good group now. I got it down.
A good tribe.
After cutting them off for years.
So where are you at? And you don't have to answer this and I can cut it out. Where you're at relationship wise, single, mingling, what's going on?
I'm single.
Okay. What kind of, I guess is a generic ass question to ask you, but you know, for the guys out there, what type of guys kind of vibe with you? Forget the look standpoint. I'm talking about, that's obvious. What kind of energy, what attracts you?
Somebody that has confidence.
Okay.
Because they have to be able to approach me, and like that's been my problem my whole life. Like, men don't really like to approach me. But if they really don't like to do it out here, back home at least, you have like people that like just come up like, what, you know. But I feel like also people are weirded at, like, they made it weird, like online dating made it weird to just meet people in person now. It's like you'd rather fucking meet somebody on an app than go in person and like have a conversation. It's weird.
Right.
So I mean, I haven't seen anyone hot out here, to be honest, like that. So I haven't approached, because I'll walk up to people. I don't care.
Yeah.
So someone with confidence, someone that has their own shit. I would love somebody that has their own business, you know, that's their own entrepreneur, because they know the grind. They know we're busy. We can both be busy. We don't have to be up each other's ass, and it can work that way. Maybe
someone to match your energy a little bit too.
Yeah. I mean, they have to be like open. They can't be closed-minded.
Right. You hear that, Vegas? Step it up. We're going to wrap it in just a few, but before I do, I want to kind of get you the megaphone to the audience, you know, give them a little bit of some of Angie's philosophy, you know, whether it be about life, business, or just anything in general that you believe in that you hope to kind of share with the world a little bit.
Work on yourself. I think that like people underestimate the amount of people that like need to take that step that we said and be like, hey, why am I like this? Or why is this not working out? You know, self-realization moments are very rare. And honestly, they're rare because you don't have time to like think about it. You know, like if you're in survival mode, you can't have a fucking spiritual awakening and shit, and like a self-realization of like what's going on. You're just on go, you know what I mean? So most people don't ever have the time to stop. So if you can create some space for yourself, like take 10 minutes a day. I don't care if you're dad, mom, whatever, you don't have time, just like take 10 minutes, even 5 minutes, do some breathing, do a meditation, go on YouTube. You could just Google it, find something, and then just, start working on it. Cause that's really going to like help you throughout your day so that you're not having a miserable day. Everyone always like complains about their day. Like we just had this talk in my office. Like no one goes home saying like, oh my God, I had a horrible day at work. No one's like, oh, I got to go to work tomorrow. It's like, hey, no, we're here. We're about to make money. Let's do it. And we do a quote every day in the morning meeting too, so you just need to surround yourself with positivity and positive people and like your life will change. It's like, it's crazy because people don't believe it because it sounds crazy, but it's true.
That's true. Yeah. I had the same talk with another guy. We call it through osmosis, just by being around that type of people, success becomes normal, kindness becomes normal, happiness becomes normal. And when it becomes normal, you can really evolve into that type of person. So I agree with everything you say. Yeah.
Daily habits, create your daily, whether that's reading, whether that's working out, taking a walk around the block, playing with your dog outside, playing with your kid, like whatever it is, like go do something different, like go do something fun. Just like, love on yourself a little bit, do something, get a massage, like,
I love it. Work on yourself is what I got out of that. So what are you excited about in the upcoming future? It doesn't necessarily have to be about business. It could be something personal. It could be whatever. What's getting you hopping out of bed? What's exciting you?
Oh, let's see. I think I'm gonna be able to do my first interview in a cultivation soon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I want to, cause I always want to do one in the plants, so I'm just working on really getting the brand out there.
I love conversations like this. I love meeting people that just have that energy, that vibe, and go out there and live life, man, not be stuck in a cubicle, whether it's figuratively or literally, and just go out there and just embrace life. So you're definitely one of those people, Angie. So I appreciate your time, but tell the audience where they can find you, how they can subscribe, all that good stuff. We want to make sure we support you. Promote.
Hey guys. Okay. So fatedtruth.com. You can find everything on there. You can find season 2 episodes after you subscribe to the monthly membership and become a VIP member. And this will help me support my business and help me continue to keep creating cool content that you guys love to see. And so I appreciate everybody's support. And yeah, go on there. You can buy calendars right now. You can listen to all audio platforms. And you can always catch up on everything. There's always something to listen to, and there's something for everybody.
Miss Angie Martinez, everybody, the Faded Truth. Angie, thank you so much. We'll do this again. And
thank you for having me.
Of course, we'll get the people out there to support you. We'll talk
Peace.
soon.